Welcome everyone. Well, it's that time of year where you go to the shops, and I'm sure you go to the shops and you've seen witches, skulls, spiders, demons, death and fear, which marks the celebration of Halloween on the 31st of October. And we want to encourage you today as Christians and as a family. Why do we want our children to partake in something that is so evilly and scary to make it look fun? And I want to just teach quickly on the origin of Halloween before we get into a quick chat. And the origin is basically witchcraft. It goes back to witchcraft. It goes back to the ancient Druids who worshipped the god of the dead, Samhain. They would sacrifice children on this celebration to appease this deity. So that is the roots of this hideous celebration. And Anton LaVey said that one day of the year, Christians give their children to the devil to celebrate Satan on Halloween. And that's an high-level occultist who formulated the Church of Satan said that. And secondly, John Ramaz, I don't know how to say his name, Ramaz, who was an ex-Satanist, said that when we dress our children up in these costumes, we are changing their identity, making the identity of what Satan's identity is. And so that is the origin of this hideous time. Secondly, before we go on with my beautiful wife, it is one of the most merchandisers of the year in a way. The most amount of money that comes in closest to Christmas, Halloween, is huge. And so this is a massive day. One day that Satan gets glory. Why should we be part of it?
Well, we shouldn't. We just shouldn't. You know, we have two little girls. Our youngest is 5, and I've explained to her in just very simple terms why we don't celebrate Halloween. I just thought that I'd share this. I say to her, well, are witches and ghosts and spiders and all those things, are they scary? And she's, well, yes, they're scary. And are these some things you might have had nightmares about? Yes. I said, well, do you really think we should then dress up as them and celebrate that? And she's like, well, no. So, and it's been lost on a lot of Christian families. I think it's, it's okay, it's just dressing up. It's not just dressing up. It's so much more than that. Like Hylton said, he gave you the origins for it. Whether you like it or not, and if you choose to dress up, you are actually joining in. Whether you like it or not, you're celebrating it still. So, and like Hylton said, it's the one day of the year that Christians worship the devil. But it is actually worshipping the devil in an indirect way. You might not set out to do that, but he sits back laughing, going, awesome, great. Look at these children sitting there dressed up in, like Pastor Hylton said, like my identity, death, scariness, fear, anxiety, things that provoke fear.
I mean, do you see Satanists coming to Christmas services dressed in black hoodeds? Exactly. I mean, this is very important, because now what the enemy does is he makes something he changes the look of it. Even though it's evil, he presents it to be fun.
As good, yes.
Oh, it's not that bad. But behind it is diabolical evil. And this is satanic. This is the day of the worst year where all of your witches and covens are cursing and practicing witchcraft and ceremonies. And so we should be praying more now as people and combating the evil and taking authority. But Christians are so lax today because it looks fun, and that's the deception of the enemy.
Yes.
Ephesians 5, it says, do not partake in the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Wow. And that's what we're doing here today.
Expose them.
Exposing the unfruitful works of wickedness through Halloween.
So we want to encourage you, as we've presented this for you, maybe have a think this year. If you're a Christian, have a realize what its origin is. Forget the lollies, forget the sweets, forget the colorful costumes. It is witchcraft. And when you allow your children to enter this, because Satan's a legalist, you're actually giving your kids over to Satan as a legal right by participating in it. And then people might say, oh, that's rubbish. Brother, the enemy is a legalist, and what it's doing is it's showing your children witchcraft's not that bad.
Yes.
When they get older, 16 and 18, and you've already trained them that Halloween's okay, the chances of them being lured into witchcraft are more higher than ever before.
Yeah.
Because you've now allowed that.
Yes, and the devil's trying to, he tries to desensitize everyone to the wickedness of it. It's the same thing through horror movies or whatever. Desensitize people so when they see these things, that's not
Correct.
It's not a big deal. Our youngest daughter, when she was in daycare, you fill out a list of all the things that you don't want or don't believe in or whatever, and they're supposed to adhere to your wishes. And I said, I don't want any books with witches, anything to do with witchcraft read to my child, or anything, her participating in any of it. And, within a couple of weeks, Emily comes home and says, we're reading Room on the Broom, a book about a witch. And so anyway, we had that discussion. Then I went and I said to the lady, I just said, look, I have written that I don't want my child exposed to witchcraft. And of course, she just downplayed and said, it's just a book, and it's a good book. It's one of my favourite books, she actually said. And I'm thinking, well, great, but I don't want my child thinking that witches and witchcraft are okay.
And what that does, if we allow that, then children go, well, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I used to read those little stories when I was young. Witches aren't that bad.
That's how the enemy entices our generation. And so as Christian parents, stand up.
Yes.
Stand up now and teach your kids the ways of the Lord.
If you don't teach your children the right way, the world will.
Yeah.
Satan will. He's in the world. If you don't instill what's right in your children, there is a world that will do it for you, and it won't be good.
So we pray that this message has touched you today, and maybe this has helped you to make a decision, to make a stand, that my children are not going to go out trick-or-treating. We're going to do something different. And what we do is we change the dynamic in our home, and we go out and do something completely different. And we say, why would you want to go on the streets with stupid little lollies when we can go and watch an incredible show tonight, where we're taking our kids to a beautiful laser show, pizzas and fun and smoke machines for funness.
Nothing to do with Halloween.
And we go, why would you want to do that? Yeah, you're right. That is boring, Dad. So change the dynamic in your home and you will see what God will do. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.